everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm Grace on the Resilience team here at AvePoint with Sham, and we're excited to walk you through how AvePoint's approach to backup and data resilience goes beyond what traditional vendors provide.
Together with Grace, we'll discuss modern challenges that demand a different approach and why the Confidence platform is uniquely built to protect your data wherever it lives and however it's used.
The first challenge is simple. We know today's environments are complex. Organizations are using a wide range of collaboration tools. Let's start with a quick poll to warm us up. What platforms do you and your organization rely on most? Check all that apply. All right, now that we're warmed up, let's dive into our agenda. We're going to focus on a few things today, starting with new data challenges, which require a unique approach. Then we're going to talk about how AvePoint tackles these challenges by going beyond backup. We're going to do some demos to show you our incredible capabilities, and mixed in it, it'll be clear why AvePoint should be your preferred partner in data security and resilience in 2026 and beyond. Then we'll finish up with why AvePoint, what makes us different, and why you should choose us. Sham, why don't you start off with the challenges we see today?
Yeah, thanks, Grace. People know they need to manage and protect their data. That's a no-brainer. People know that they need to meet compliance and regulatory requirements, yet they're still experiencing fundamental failures to execute. Why is that happening? When we look at the state of the industry today, we see a number of startling trends. 62% have been impacted by a ransomware attack that actually originated somewhere in their supply chain. It wasn't even inside the house. And so ransomware, as we know, results in downtime. Can you afford the average, which is 26 hours of downtime of your Microsoft environment? What is your contingency plan? How do you plan on recovering? This is something that keeps people up at night. 59% of people are also dealing with storage growth at the same time. So the amount of their data estate is growing as they struggle to secure it. And reactive patching just isn't good enough. 70% of the exploited vulnerabilities discovered by Mandiant Research, they noticed that there are 0-day threats, which means there isn't a patch or a solution in place. And once there is, you have to quickly scramble your IT and security teams to patch those systems. Are you able to respond quickly enough if this happens at 3 a.m. on a Sunday? And close to 70% of organizations are also struggling to find data protection solutions for newer technologies, newer SaaS apps and cloud platforms than ever before, because they're trying to stay ahead of the competition and find new ways to collaborate more efficiently. And while all of this is happening, the business is asking our technology leaders, are we satisfying our regulatory requirements with secure data copies? Are we managing that growth? And so much more. And on top of that, are we confident in the quality of the data to trust the insights and recommendations from something like Copilot when we turn it on? Every challenge seems as difficult and important as the last one to address. There has got to be an explanation to all this, or at least a way to simplify things. Any ideas, Grace?
Here's what we know, and here's how we tackle these things at AvePoint. We know that all of these issues actually come from the same core set of problems. Actually, all of your data challenges aren't isolated, they're all connected. And so that's how we tackle your problems from a united front. We know that legacy systems, fragmented records, overexposed files, digital sprawl, and the constant threat of data loss form a complex web. We know your data is more than just files. It's the lifeblood of your business. Your backup solution has to be aware of the full picture. That picture keeps getting bigger and bigger, doesn't it, Sean?
Absolutely. And it's not just getting bigger, but these problems are getting bigger faster. AI is just one way these things are being supercharged. Sprawl, overexposure, data loss and corruption, and of course, there's still data sitting in legacy silos or that needs to be migrated over during a merger and acquisition. These have always been governance headaches, but now that generative AI is using our data in the generative results and outputs that it creates, or is surfacing up data when it's asked through via a user prompt, You're automating more, you're generating more, you're trying to leverage more, but you could be exposing more and finding gaps that you didn't have before or you didn't know were in your attack surface yesterday. So the question isn't whether these problems exist, they've always existed. But now it's about how quickly you can get ahead of them and keep them under control. Because in an AI driven world, governance, security, resilience aren't separate conversations anymore.
And actually, all of these challenges exist in every platform. And we know it's not just Google, Microsoft, or Salesforce anymore. Teams are also in DocuSign, Smartsheet, Monday.com, Confluence, GitHub, and the list keeps growing. Customers don't want a patchwork of protections. They want consistency across all of these platforms. And that's what we do at AvePoint. That's why we're moving quickly to provide data protection capabilities across some of the most utilized platforms. Many are launching in Q1 of next year and in preview already. I want to tell you about some of these that are coming out. In October, we'll launch early access for Monday.com, DocuSign, Smartsheet, Okta, and Confluence. In December, GitHub joins that list. And starting next year, we're anticipating launching Q1 for the previous sources alongside Jira and GitHub. Looking ahead, we're excited to include Zendesk, HubSpot, and Trello. Because we've been protecting data across clouds for years, we can scale quickly to meet customers where they need us. And coming soon, we'll be surfacing these new sources right inside our Data Resiliency Command Center. I also want to say we're excited because these SaaS apps are now in private preview. So if you'd like to be involved and you want to be in our private preview, check out that QR code in the corner. Which sources are you interested in seeing added to the Confidence Platform? This feedback is great because it helps us prioritize our release roadmap and ensure you get the protection for the tools that you use most. And we don't want to just back up these sources either. This is where I want to talk about how we go beyond backup at AvePoint. Think of the analogy of a house burning down. Other vendors, they're all great at bringing in the fire truck when the data loss has already occurred. But at that point, the damage is done. Here's what we do differently. We install the smoke detectors, we fireproof the walls, and yes, we still bring the fire truck just in case. Our approach is proactive. We help you prevent disasters before they happen. And if something does go wrong, we're ready to respond immediately, and we have the fire truck right outside. This is the difference between simply backing up blindly and truly protecting your data and your business. But what does that mean? I want to get specific and explain to you what we do in terms of our features and our capabilities that really set us apart. A lot of our competition will say we have immutable copies, we have FedRAMP, we have ISO certifications, and we have that, but we also know that that's table stakes. What sets us apart is that we go beyond backup. And I want to break that down into 3 core propositions. First of all, we're always available and recoverable. We're not just waiting for disaster to strike. AvePoint delivers automated remediation. So while you're sleeping or enjoying your weekend, AvePoint is automatically detecting and fixing issues. It's a layered protection strategy with visibility and potential problems before they become incidents. What we do is we build a culture of security, not just a safety net. That's the first piece. We also have pragmatic data protection. Like I said, we don't just back up blindly. AvePoint helps you identify rot, which is redundant, obsolete, and trivial data. We help you archive what matters and destroy what doesn't. That means faster recovery, lower costs, and less clutter. Think of it as decluttering before you clean your entire house. Nobody wants to clean a cluttered house. Declutter first. And then lastly, we have a unified proactive strategy. We know that most threats come from inside. AvePoint gives you control over internal sharing across multi-cloud environments. It's about proactive security, mitigating risks before you even need backup. We empower you to prevent exposure, not just recover from it. We've talked about how we go beyond backup, but now it's time to show you in our product. As you can see here, our Resilience Command Center gives you a single view across all the platforms that your organization is backing up, giving you full visibility and actionable insights into your entire environment. Sean, can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, not only are we doing what most of the other competitors say that they do, which is show you the overall backup success rate, the storage cost, and growth of your backup investment. But we allow you to perform recovery in a way that our competitors just can't. So for example, if I go in here into the Microsoft backups, I can actually drill a level further down and look at the various applications and subcomponents that make up the Microsoft 365 service. So I'm not just restoring some emails, a few Teams, or a SharePoint site, but I'm able to restore a individual one-to-one chat, a planner board, or anything else down to the setting or configuration level, and I'm able to do this across all of the applications that AvePoint protects.
Thanks, John. Another thing I want to highlight here, as we've said before, we have automated backups up to 4 times a day. And we'll do those backups without impacting any performance like your business apps, emails, and Teams. They'll all run as usual while your backups are running. So we talked to you about what's great about our backup product. But the question of the day is really how we go beyond that. We actually help you optimize your data and your storage, and the way we do that is with our raw analysis. You can see we analyze the data across your environment to identify what's redundant, obsolete, or trivial, helping you make informed decisions about what to defensively destroy and what's worth keeping. This helps you in a few ways. You're going to run faster and more efficient backups because you'll have less to back up. It's going to lower your storage cost, and it's going to even improve the quality and speed of your enterprise search and even your AI. And the way we do this is we break down your raw data into file type. This gives you a clear view of where the bulk of unnecessary storage is coming from. This way you can decide what makes sense to keep and what makes sense to destroy.
Not only are we helping you get rid of data that could be an unnecessary risk, but we're also allowing you to understand the risk of the data that you do hold onto with our control suite. So our DSPM capabilities extend your protection beyond backup by letting you know who has access to your data, where you have external sharing links, where high-risk items might be in the wrong place, or risky apps and AI may have access to data, or that workspaces have gone completely unaccounted for. And we're able to drill in a lot deeper in here to understand your risk posture, whether or not there are ransomware activity or suspicious activity that's occurring, and whether or not you need to be alerted to it and take action, such as perform a recovery or revoke a user's permissions. In conclusion, the ability to combine these resilience, optimization, and security capabilities means that you're in a much better position to avoid needing to perform a data recovery in the first place. Or if an unauthorized data breach does occur, mitigating the risk and the exposure of that attack and the potential data loss that could occur.
Sham, I talked a little bit about how we have a pragmatic, proactive approach. Can you tell me a little bit of what that looks like in ransomware attacks?
Yeah, ransomware is notorious. People are still talking about it. And one of the main reasons is because the bad guys are effectively holding your data hostage, right? And there are new and scary ways of ransomware getting into your environment, man-in-the-middle attacks, supply chain attacks. And as we all return to work, people are starting to physically access buildings again, stick thumb drives into devices, and find other ways of accessing systems. And what we've seen as a trend in the last couple of years is ransomware spreads from endpoints. And these endpoints can include backup appliances on the network. And oftentimes, ransomware is actually engineered to find the backups on the network first, encrypt those backup copies, and then go for the rest of the network so that when you go and rely on your safety net, it's actually taken down. Ransomware can also get in through users downloading inappropriate files, introducing files during sync that are already encrypted with malware on it. And these can actually synchronize back up to the cloud from an endpoint using file sync and share technology. And even though it's been in the news for a while, and we're trying to be very vigilant. Even in 2024, there was a 33% increase year over year in ransomware attacks. And so we're looking at this from a strategic perspective, not just letting you recover your backup data and roll back to a clean copy, but to make sure we proactively alert you for suspicious activity, whether that's signs of ransomware or a malicious user. We let you quickly identify the source file where the issue is occurring and identify the last known good recovery point so you can get back to business quickly. All of this is designed to avoid ransomware costs and downtime, minimize your risks, the fire drills, and the unnecessary IT burden that you have. And not only are we providing you those recommended recovery points from our isolated and immutable backup copies, but with integrations like with Microsoft 365 backup storage or with continuous data protection for Salesforce, we're able to achieve things never seen before, like recovery speeds up to 2 terabytes per hour in mass recovery situations for Microsoft 365. So we can help you find the best recovery point and get back up and running quickly. And we don't want you to just be able to recover, but whenever someone's coming in to make sure that you're resilient, that you're within compliance, and you're meeting your retention policies, no matter what industry you're in, no matter where in the world you are, we give you the ability to store these air-gapped copies on our storage in 14 data centers across the world, or you can bring your own storage, leverage provider-hosted storage, or even push data copies down to physical servers or a partner storage platform. And you can encrypt all of this data at rest with your own key if you like, and really take security to the next level and make sure you meet every compliance challenge that you have. Grace, I've got a question for you. What percentage of organizations do you think have an attack path that exposes a critical asset in their company?
Oh gosh, that is a scary question. I'm going to go 67%.
67% is a good guess. Everybody else in the polls, let us know what you think. Because the answer is actually 80%.
Oh my God.
It is very, very scary, but
Wow.
the most recent Microsoft security report and analysis showed that 80% of organizations have an open attack path that exposes at least one business critical asset in an organization. And so once somebody has access to that data, they can download it, they can delete it, they can do anything. And so you need a little bit more than backup in place. And this is where the story of unified proactive security really comes in. You may have seen many slides like this, some different flavor of this out in the wild. But at the end of the day, it comes down to this concept called the shared responsibility model. And what this model really means is that the vendor, Microsoft, Salesforce, Google, Amazon, on and on, are responsible for things like keeping the service up and running, making sure the personnel are the best and brightest and the most secure and can be trusted. And in order to get your services up and running in case there's a hardware failure, a DNS problem, or something else nasty happening, like a power outage. But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility as the user of this platform to ensure that your own business users are not accidentally doing anything, oversharing and granting access through excessive permissions or the share button, and to make sure that your own teams are free of things like security and configuration misconfigurations. And in an AI world, the attackers aren't just looking for open connections and vulnerabilities anymore, but they're getting creative with things like malicious prompts to AI copilots and help bots, and using AI itself to find these vulnerabilities faster. Gartner actually found that attackers are going to be able to find vulnerabilities 53% faster in 2027 using these new AI capabilities. It's very, very scary out there. And so you need a vendor that's not just going to help you recover when there's an outage, but be able to take action and address some of these other issues. And again, these issues are happening all over the place. So our confidence platform isn't just specialized in one cloud anymore. We came from a strong pedigree in the Microsoft ecosystem. But since then, like most of our customers, we've embraced many different clouds. That includes Google Workspace, the Salesforce Cloud, AWS, Azure, and many, many more are on the roadmap. And this is what's really important. You need a trusted provider that doesn't just understand these different challenges, but understands the uniqueness of those challenges in every single one of these platforms. And because of that, vendors and analysts like ISG have recognized AvePoint's exemplary service and capabilities. We were voted as a top recommendation by ISG Research in their buyer's guide. We were recognized as a leader for customer experience and product experience, ranked #1 in product capability and #2 in product experience. And we know that we are meeting the evolving data challenges of our customers because this is a capability that we already have today. 3 in 4 enterprises will demand continuous data protection by 2027, and it's already generally available in our Salesforce backup product, with more capabilities coming down the road. And Gartner also recognizes us as a vendor in the market guide in 2025 for TRISM. This is what we mean by going beyond backup. We're not just talking about restoring documents, but making sure that the access to those documents is available and possible when users need it to be productive. And it's not accessible by users who don't need access to that information or bad actors who are trying to gain access to that information. All while making sure we enable collaboration across teams and the enterprise with both structured and unstructured data, and ensure that no matter what happens, you can easily conduct discovery and inventory all of the AI and other capabilities being used in your organization. And you can join a family of customers who service across a number of different verticals, who have a number of different compliance, sensitivity, and performance requirements, whether it's a FedRAMP data center or the ability to encrypt your backups with your own key. We're able to meet those challenges wherever you might be. And so we'd love to have your logo up here alongside so many other names. And if you're trying to figure out, how do I join the list? Well, we can help you evaluate your security posture and risk for free with a consultation call. We can get you set up with a free trial of the Confidence platform, give you a detailed demo, provide you with pricing and brochures. Or if you're fine and you need a little bit of time to process all this, that's okay. Just let us know in the poll, and we would love to reach out and support you. With that being said, Grace and I would love to thank you for your time, wherever you're joining us from. We know your time is important. So I hope this was informative for you. Grace, thank you so much for joining me and helping me share this with our audience. And hopefully we see you guys soon.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Bye-bye.